Me llamo Ana Carla. Me equivoqué. Soy Ana Carla. ¿Y tú? Just like last week, this week I'm trying something new. If you saw the description, maybe you know, this week I'm painting and I'm going to record it. So there's a video version of this. Hi, in case you're watching. This is what I'm supposed to paint. Showing the camera is water and a pink flower on one corner. The idea is to give it to my landlord's mom. I'm thinking of giving it to her. So for now, this is how the canvas looks. Oh, you cannot see anything with this. Let me move the camera. Okay. There you can kind of see it. It's just with pencil. I drew the flower on the corner and some waves so I know where the color is supposed to change. Okay. Here I have my brushes for the audio version. Here. I didn't really think about what colors I have that I brought with me. So let's see if I have the blue. This one, I brought this one. It's like when you're almost out of toothpaste. That's what it looks like. And I thought that I have a new one at home. I thought that I had it in this bag, but it's not here. It's fine, we can make it through. I haven't done this in a while. I don't know what to do. Oh. Okay. Well, I put the colors. How are you? How have you been? How was your week? Last week I said something about a raincoat for legs. Thanks for the recommendations. I got a few. Apparently they do exist, just in case someone listening didn't know. They do exist. It's still weird. I mean, a raincoat, a coat for legs doesn't make much sense. Maybe, I don't think that's the real name, but they do exist. What are they called? I don't know. Waterproof pants or something? They're out there, somewhere. I hope people are using them. Pants as plural. If someone only has one leg, do they say that they're putting up their jeans or their jean? I don't know what I'm thinking about that. I think the last time I painted with oil was July, maybe? Oh wow. I just used white. Oh, there you are. I'm not finishing this today. Definitely, I'm not. It's gonna take a while. But today I had some time. The sun is out. So I thought, why not? I wanted to start this outside. I wanted to paint outside. But then it snowed. That didn't happen. And I have these colors for now. I have white, blue, green. I don't want to say the exact name because you don't care, but I do. What else do I need? Maybe I can do a little bit of the flower just with some red so I know where it is. yes, let's do that. Some red and okay. I need another blue. I think it's weird when people say you don't need so many colors. Why wouldn't you use all the colors you can have? Why will you choose only 3 and put yourself through having to mix them and remembering what you mixed? Sometimes it's nice, like when you're painting skin, it isn't better, at least in my opinion, to mix colors and to get that tone. But if you have all of these blues, why wouldn't you just choose the blue that you want to use? Why make it even more complicated? Painting is fun. Okay, I have my colors. What brush am I gonna use first? The big one. Oh, it's on my desk. Okay. It wasn't me. It's the bottle. Okay, you're supposed to push it. Yes, that's a dirty one. No, not open yet. Oh my god. Yes. The fumes. It smells different. This is what I need, right? Oh no, they took away the font. I'm kidding. But this thing that you're supposed to use for oil painting, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's aguarrás in Spanish. White spirit turpentine? Maybe that's what it's called. I have no idea how to say it. But it says that they got rid of the smell. That's dangerous if you get rid of the smell, because the chemical is still here. What if you forget about it and you leave it open and the fumes just keep getting out? It's like the gas that you need for your stove. It doesn't actually smell of anything. They add this smell, but that's good, because if you leave it open or if there is a leak, the smell will save your life. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know. Now you do. Maybe you forgot, now you remembered. But the smell is your friend. Okay. Well, I hope my camera doesn't run out of battery, so we can do this for a while. Okay. So first things first, I think I'll start with the dark green on the top right corner. Yeah. The paint. Is this what Bob Ross or Ross Bob? What's his name? Bob Ross? Felt like when painting and talking to no one. It's relaxing. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear that? Okay, well, while I painted this week, I was thinking of, oh no, my camera is overheating. Oh no. Okay, maybe I have another 3 or 5 minutes before it turns off. Anyway, what I was saying is that this week I was thinking of traveling, not me actually traveling, but just traveling in general. How it used to be so easy and we never thought about it. Because today is 13, no 12, 13, yeah, December 13. I could be wrong, but I think 2 years ago I was going to London, maybe? I think it was today. Anyway, you never think about it one day being difficult to get on a plane and go to a different country. If you do it now, I think you have to take an exam and do all of those things. It's too much. Just for a few days. I had to take one before coming here, but that was fine because I don't know, it's a long trip. But if you're doing it just for a couple of days, less than a week, it doesn't seem worth it because of how expensive the test is. Hola, Ana Carla from the future here. I just wanted to interrupt myself and say something before I start or I continue talking. I don't mean any of this as bragging or anything like that. Not at all. Only this is just me sharing my experiences when I got the opportunity to travel. And that's it. Not because you travel means that it is that everything is perfect. Yeah, you'll see why. But I think that's it for now. Bye from the future. Well, and that got me thinking of the trips that I've been lucky enough to be in. And I remember the first time that I got on a plane by myself. I think I had just turned 15. Yeah. I don't know if that counts completely as myself or not, because I didn't go alone. I was with other people, but they weren't my family. I didn't even know them. We had just met. It was one of those trips that people do for high school students. In this case, it was we were going to Canada to study English, and you didn't really know the other people until you got to the airport. I only knew one? No. Well, yeah. She was my neighbor. And we went together. And once we were there, some of her friends were also going, so I met them. But I didn't know them until we went there. Anyway, what I was saying is that I don't know if that counts as traveling by yourself, because I didn't have to worry about all of those things that you have to worry when you're traveling alone, like where your plane is, what gate you're supposed to go, worry about your luggage, and what terminal you're supposed to be in, checking the time. So many things that you have to do, but it's fun once you get used to it. Doing all of those things, it's fine. But yeah, at that time I didn't have to worry about any of that, really. But it was a really nice trip. I think it was the first time for all of us in Canada. That was really fun. It lasted 4 weeks, and 2 weeks was supposed to be we had classes in the mornings, and then in the evenings we would just have activities and go see new places. I remember that one of the teachers we had, I think he was my teacher for idioms, or yeah, I think it was called idioms. like the stuff that doesn't really mean what it's supposed to mean, but it's more like, you know what I mean. Those phrases that you're not supposed to take literally. And I remember that someone mentioned the, what is it? Go with the flow. He got so mad, not at someone mentioning it, but at the phrase existing and people following it. I think we were watching a movie and someone said it, and he had to explain it to us, and he got to that, and he got so mad at people going with the flow, because he said that people living by that motto, or yeah, I guess, were the reason the world is the way it is, because they just don't care and they just do whatever without thinking of the consequences. And he went on full rant for like 10 minutes just about people going with the flow. Basically saying that that's the worst thing you could ever do. People like that are the problem. Blah 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 blah. He was a really nice teacher. By the way, he was really cool. One day he brought his little kid to class. I think it was the last class. Oh, I think he brought him because the kid had pink eye. It doesn't seem like a good idea, but he brought his kid, so the kid had sunglasses the entire day, and so because he also got pink eye from his kid. So they both of them were with sunglasses inside. It was funny. But yeah, it was a cool trip. And I think the next time that I took a trip... Oh, my camera is up. I'm going to take a little break and let the camera cool down. Okay, we're back. It's cool now. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. Maybe about the next one. Because the next one was... Well, that happened in 2016. And then the next one was 14. No, 13. How old am I? Something like that. And then the next time was when I was in university. Yeah. The next one was 2016. And that one I think was the first time that I ever got on a plane on my own. By myself. And it was weird. I think the thing that I was worried about the most was not knowing where to go. If that makes sense. Because you're at the airport and usually you get in and then you get out and you're there. That's it. But when you have connecting flights, it's not that easy. Because sometimes you have to worry about getting your luggage and then leaving it someplace else, and that's really annoying. I hate doing that. So anyway, I was there by myself, and once you get used, like the hang of it, it's fine. You're good. But there are times that things happen that you're like, wait, what? Say that again. Can you hear the washer? If you can, I'm sorry. But I had to wash my clothes. Anyway, what I was saying is... What was I saying? Oh, that sometimes you do have to take your luggage out of whatever and put it back. So I think it was on this trip that I had to do that. And I think that happened in Chicago or Atlanta or something like that. And I didn't know what to do. And I remember that it was a really crowded day, a lot of people, and I think that this happened, maybe I'm wrong, but whatever, something happened because in one of those airports that I said, you go through some kind of tunnel, and at the end there's a kind of subway because the airport's huge and you need a subway to go to the other terminal for your connecting flight. So I had to do that, but I wasn't sure where to go next. So I think this happened to this woman. I left my suitcase there. I had to take it with me. I gave it to her. She's like, okay, cool. And then I didn't know where to go. So to know where to go, you have to know the airline that you're flying with. So I told her, I don't remember which one I took, but I told her the name, and she's like, oh, go there, blah. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm supposed to take the subway thing to where? I didn't hear her because she was talking so fast and all of the people were making so much noise, so I didn't understand what she said. So I didn't know where to go. Like, yeah, the subway was right there, but I didn't know where to go. And I tried asking her again, but she was so busy that she didn't care anymore. So I was on my own. So I thought, whatever, I'll just get on the thing. There were a lot of people waiting for it. So I got in line. I got on the subway. And thankfully, they have the list with what terminal and what airlines are for each terminal. So I found mine. And then it was fine. I got the right one. But it's really frustrating when there's a lot of people and you're trying to ask for help. We're chatting WhatsApp, yes, WhatsApp. And someone said that they got stopped at an airport by guards because they were Mexican. So they had to be in a room, I think it was 2 girls, and just wait for something. I don't remember what else they said. I think it happened when they were with their suitcases, doing something with the suitcases or something like that. But I don't know if that was a connecting flight. If so, maybe they were worried about losing it. I don't remember exactly, but I remember reading that text and worrying about that happening to me too. But at least they were with another person. I was on my own. If that happened to me, I didn't know what to do. Luckily, that didn't happen. I think that only happened to them. And they were fine. They got there on time. So everything was good. It's happy ending. Finding them at the airport was difficult too. I remember they kept sending photos of, we're here, right next to this ad. Dude, I can never find that ad. Took me like way too long. Way too long to find them, but I finally did. Oh, and I remember getting there. I remember a lot of things. But yeah, I got there. And to go from Mexico to the other side of the world, it takes you like a day and a half. And then we get there, and we are supposed to be waiting for a bus to take us to the little city, to the small city, not little, but small city, where we were supposed to go in Italy, because we were also going to be taking classes there, Italian lessons. But to go there, we had to take a bus. It wasn't just a random bus, it was a bus for us. A bus for us. And I thought, okay, it's only gonna be like 2 hours, right? It's gonna be quick. We'll be there soon, and I get to lay in the bed and sleep a little. I don't have to worry about my suitcase every 5 minutes. But oh my surprise, it took us like 5 or 6 hours to get there. No one warned me, no one told me about this. I kept looking at my watch, and I thought, why is this taking so long? It took us so long to get there. I think we were supposed to meet at around 2 p.m. And then it was 7:30, and then we were sitting there, one of a big room, and they were saying which room was for who, and your roommates and all of that. And I kept thinking, okay, I'll get to meet my roommates now. Fun. And everyone's name was mentioned, but mine. And almost everyone was out of their room, getting ready to go to bed, take a shower, just enjoy. But no, not me. I was still in that room, sitting down, waiting for them to say my name. And we were running out of people. So I thought, these are my roommates? Like, where are you, roommates? Where are you? They weren't there yet. They finally say my name, and my other 3 roommates were not in Italy yet. I think they were in Italy, but they were still at the bus. So it was going to take a few hours for them to get there. So anyway, it's just me and this guy that worked there that was helping me with my suitcases. And this guy, well, you're supposed to learn Italian, so he didn't speak. I mean, he was speaking Italian. So I'm like, what? Anyway, I follow him. He helps me with my suitcases. We get to my room. Well, my new room. I remember he starts saying stuff, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm tired, I'm confused. And you just start throwing Italian at my face. Like, stop it. Calm down. Stop. And at some point I'm like, wait, no, I cannot understand. Like, stop, I cannot. He just starts pointing at stuff. Like, here, you're supposed to, what was it about? The keys are here, and you put them here, and the lights, and whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I got it. He's like, good, you're good. And I'm like, yeah. Bye. I want to take a shower. He was really nice. Anyway, he leaves. I'm alone. I don't know when they're getting there. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about them. Maybe I kept thinking, maybe what if they get here and I'm still in the shower? So they didn't. Fast forward, they did not get there until way late at night, like 11 or so. I was still up unpacking. I did get to choose my bed and my room and everything before anyone else. That was really convenient. And I also remember while I was putting everything in my new closet, a huge bee got inside my room. In the middle of the summer, of course, it wasn't a window, it was a balcony. I had the doors open. This huge thing just starts flying around, and I'm alone, and I hate bees, so I just start freaking out, like, am I supposed to hit you and make you mad, or just push you out of the room? So I just waited. I did a very adult thing to do. I just waited for that thing to go away, and then I closed the doors. And then they got there. And I remember meeting them, and I didn't know how to meet them. Like, am I supposed to meet you in Italian? Am I supposed to meet you in English, in Spanish? That's all the languages I know. What else am I supposed to do? So they're there. This guy helps them with their suitcases again. They open the door. Oh, they were opening the door, and I think he was struggling a little bit with the key, and I'm inside, so I thought I'll just open it. So I do. And there I am opening the door. They're like struggling with the suitcases and tired and all of that. I'm just like, hi. They're like, hey. So they get in. This guy starts explaining another stuff too. And I'm just standing there like, hi. This guy leaves. And it's just the four of us. I think we were in silence for a few seconds. And then we're like, And then we start asking in Italian, like, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And one of them says Argentina. The other one says Mexico. And the other one says Azerbaijan. So the one from Argentina and Mexico. We're like, hey. And then the girl from Azerbaijan, she didn't speak Spanish. She ended up learning a little bit. But at that time, she didn't speak Spanish. She could understand some of it because she is really good at Italian. I think she's a teacher now. She has students. She teaches them Italian. So at the time she could understand some of our conversations in Spanish, but not all of it. But yeah, I remember that moment when we didn't know what to say or how to introduce ourselves, because yeah, like the girl from Argentina and Azerbaijan, their Italian was amazing. Me, I had just been studying for 1 year, and I was like and the other Mexican, she didn't know any Italian at all. That's why she was there, to learn and travel. And learn. She did learn a lot by the end of the courses. But yeah, that was really interesting. I don't know why I remember that so well in my mind, kinda. And I had forgotten about the guy struggling to open the door. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember hearing a lot of what do you call it? Just someone trying to open the door. I got scared, and then I thought, oh, it's them. So I opened it. Hola, me again from the future. Who else? I just wanted to include something here. I just wanted to say that these roommates that I had are the best ones that I've ever had. No offense to anyone, but it was a lot of fun sharing the apartment, I guess you could call it, with them. Every day in that trip we had Italian lessons in the morning. I think we started around 8:30 or so a.m. And there were times when at night we would go out or just do something, whatever. And at the end of the day, instead of just saying, oh, night, we would meet at my room and the room the room that I was also sharing with another one of them. And we would just sit down, maybe have a snack, and talk about what we did until like 3 or 5 a.m. I remember one day the sun was almost rising, and we thought, well, classes start soon. Should we take a nap or just deal with it and go and start getting ready? Oh, that was really fun. I just wanted to include that. Bye for now from the future. And that was fun. Again, 1 month learning Italian and traveling around. It was really fun. But then we had to go back home, and again another airport. This time my airport, my plane was at like 7 a.m. or something like that. So some people left. I think they left on Friday night. But I think my flight was until Sunday morning. No, Saturday morning? I don't remember. Something like this. The thing is that a lot of people left one day, and then other people left the other day, and then there were a few of us who just decided to take the train to the airport on our own, because our flights were the last ones. So I was one of those. We ended up sleeping at the airport. That was maybe how my neck pain started. I remember sleeping on the floor, and I had one of my suitcases, the one that I thought was the softest because it was really fluffy, under my neck. And I took a nap, and I remember waking up and I couldn't move my neck or my shoulder. It was just so bad. So bad. A guy sitting next to me, I was on the floor, he was on the bench, sitting down, looked at me and just asked, "Are you okay?" Like that. You could see the pain on my face, that bad, that he had to ask me. And I just said, I don't remember what I said actually. But I was in a lot of pain, and I saw someone with a little pillow or a sweater or something like that, and I do remember asking them to borrow me their whatever they had just as a pillow, because I was in so much pain. And then I realized that the reason why my suitcase looked so fluffy, it wasn't the square kind of suitcase, it's the suitcase that it didn't have a form, a shape. It was shapeless. Whatever you put inside, that's the shape the suitcase takes. So later I realized that there was a shoe right under my neck, and that's why I was in so much pain. I didn't think about opening it first. I just lay down, and I wish I had opened it first. I would have realized what was there, and I would have moved it. But I didn't, and my camera just died again. It was really painful. But after that, I got the sweater, and I fell asleep again, because that happened in the middle of the night, even though it didn't feel like it, because at the airport they never turn off the lights, and the floor was really cold too, even though it was in the middle of the summer. Yeah, something weird about sleeping on the floor too, because it was cold. I didn't take off my shoes, and I remember waking up and my ankles were in pain because my shoes were under my ankle, like holding it, and my foot couldn't just relax and lay down with the rest of my body. It was as if my foot stayed flexed for, I don't know how long I was asleep, maybe 1 or 2 hours, I don't know, but it was painful. And I remember saying this to a friend, and my friend was like, yeah, my feet feel the same, it's so weird. And I think that was my first time sleeping on an airport, in an airport, at an airport. Obviously studying in Canada didn't help much, but we're still trying, right? And that's okay. I do feel like Bob Ross. I've never seen one of his painting videos, but I do know that he says something about beating the devil out of the brush. That's amazing. I want to beat the devil out of this brush, but not yet. I'm not there yet. This is really relaxing. Can you hear it? That is relaxing. I'm not done getting rid of the white of the canvas yet. I should use a bigger brush, but this is the biggest I have. Oh, my camera, right. I'll be back in a second. For you it will be a second. For me it might be a few minutes while my camera cools down. We're back. Oh no, I forgot again what I was saying before. It was just a second ago. Oh, the ankles, right. Yeah, so that happened. And also, on my way back, it happened before. Yeah, it must have been before that. I was with my backpack outside of the airport. We were supposed to take the train and then a bus to go to the airport. And there were all of us. We weren't that many. Maybe 5 of us or so took the train together, and the others took it on their own. I don't know. Things that we were waiting outside of the airport, waiting for a bus or something like that. And I remember I was the last one on the line in our group, and I remember feeling something on my back, just a little tick. And I turn around and there's this guy, this old man. Well, not that old, but to me he was old. Let's say he was old. Trying to open my backpack, and I remember looking at him, and he had a newspaper rolled under his arm with his arms extended. So I turned around and I pretty much caught him. Like I saw him. There was no way he could deny it, but none of us said anything. I just kept staring at him. So he like he gets, how can I say it? I don't know. He wasn't even ashamed. So he just takes the newspaper from under his arm, turns around and keeps walking as if nothing had happened, but I didn't say anything. So could you blame him? And I remember looking around, and there was this couple right behind me looking at me. I was looking at them. They saw everything, and they didn't say anything. They could have said something. They could have warned me. They could have yelled at him and be like, hey. But no one said anything. I kept looking around me, and another 2 or 3 people were... They knew what was happening, and no one said anything. So I was just looking around like, seriously, you would have let him go through my backpack and said nothing? And not that they own it to me, they don't. But if you see someone doing something bad at someone else, like going through their backpack, when it is obvious that they shouldn't, because they're not together, they're not traveling together, wouldn't you say something? I found that so weird, and then I got mad at myself for not saying anything at this guy. We literally said nothing, but just stare at each other, and then he could just sleep. And I'm like, what? And I turn around and my friends are wondering, still talking about the bus we have to take and whatever. So no one, but it could have happened, no one would have known anything. He did open my backpack a little bit, but on that bag I only had bubble gum and candy and stuff like that. So nothing important for him to take. He didn't take anything, I checked. I think he was hoping to find a wallet or phone or something like that. He didn't, because I'm not stupid. I did not put those things that easily to find, obviously. But anyway, just knowing that people don't care also taught me that I should care, and that no one's going to be looking after you, no matter where you are or who you are. It's you against everyone. So thank you, Mr. Thief, for teaching me that. Never rely on anyone. Take care of your stuff. So that was Italy. I think the next time that I traveled on my own, when was it? This was 2016. Oh, 2018, again in university. For my internship I went to Spain, and again I went on my own. So it wasn't the first time, so I already knew some airports. I was going back to those, so I already knew how to, like, where to go, what to expect. Also, going to a new airport, it's really weird, especially if you know that it's a connecting flight and you have to move fast. That's stressful. But this was fun. Was okay. I also always try to have connecting flights that are like 4. Yeah, I'd rather wait 4 hours between flights than only having an hour and a half. I don't understand people who do take those. There's flights that only have like 50 minutes in between. Why would you do that? Why would you ever do that to yourself? That sounds just painful, mentally, and for your wallet as well, because you will lose that flight, especially if that is at a busy city where planes take a long time to park and people are slow getting out of the plane. I also never understood why planes never tell you to let the first ones get out first, and then the next, 5 rows, and then the next 5 rows. Why can't we do that? That's really annoying. Everyone tries to get out of the plane at the same time. So okay, the people at the back already have their backpacks and their suitcases down, and they want to get out, but they can't, obviously, because everyone is doing the same. So instead of doing it quicker by letting the first ones get out first, everyone tries to get out first, when you obviously cannot because you're at the back and the open door is at the front. But then coronavirus happened, and the first plane that I took this year, they did tell you to let the people in the front get out of the plane first. So we had to wait until 2020 for someone to do those changes. I hope they stay. I hope they keep doing that. Because it's way smarter that way. It's so silly that everyone tries to get out at the same time. It was so much faster, by the way. On that plane I didn't have suitcase. I only had my backpack with me. I didn't have to worry about suitcases. But the people that did have to worry about getting up and then stretching and getting that big suitcase out of that thing, it happened so fast because they had space to move, and then they didn't have to worry about hitting someone else on the head with their suitcase while they were getting it, and all of those things that happened. I don't know. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I mean, you get on the plane and the same thing happens. You're trying to put your stuff on that thing. I don't know what it's called. Overhead compartment? I have no idea. On that thing. And you can't because people are trying to pass, to keep walking and walk behind you, and you're afraid you're gonna hit them. Some people don't care about hitting other people. And they just put their suitcase there. Like, okay. Rude, but okay. I'm gonna hit you too. Just kidding. But, oh no. Anyway, so 2018. And, well, I don't remember. Oh no, I lie. I do remember one thing that happened on that plane trip. I think it was the first. Oh, sorry about that. I think that was the first plane that I took from my hometown, and I don't remember where I was going to. Maybe it was somewhere in the USA. Yeah. So I was on that airplane, and it was a tiny one, the kind that you only have one person sitting next to you, then the space where people walk, and then another 2 seats. So it was only 2 seats, on each side. So this woman sits next to me, and she was really nice. She was the kind that wanted to talk, and I thought, okay, well, sure, let's talk. So we start talking, and she asked me where I was going and for how long, blah blah blah. And I started telling her, and then I asked her the same thing, and she said something about visiting one of her kids. I think he was living in France or something like that. So she was visiting him, and we talked the entire flight. It was really fun. I remember when the flight assistant would pass by and now offer us stuff, the lady will turn to me, and I was like, hey, do you want something? Like, you want a drink? She was really nice. And then we get out of the plane and we keep walking together. There we are, walking through the airport together, and we were looking at these screens that they have, so you know where to go depending on the next flight you have, if you have another one. So we go there together, and I remember that another tunnel through one of the airports. So there's this huge tunnel, and it's the kind where you keep walking, and then the airport opens right in front of you. So we were walking through that, and I think at that point where the airport opens, there were the screens above us. So we start reading them to figure out where we were supposed to go next. And that felt like a movie moment with my fake mom. Because she said, oh, I have to go that way. And I remember that I had to go to the other way. So we realized that we were supposed to part ways and just say goodbye. It was so weird because we had just met, 3 hours ago, and we had talked so much and we walked together and and helped each other like figure out where to go next. So it did feel really weird having to say goodbye to this stranger that I had just met at the airport. But she was so nice, and I don't remember if she gave me a hug or not, saying goodbye, and she was just like, hey, goodbye, I hope you do good, and like everything's good with your internship and your trip and everything. Good luck, take care. And I say the same to her, good luck with your kid, or your kid, his whole child. Yes. But it did feel like a movie moment when people at the airport just have to go away. Like when you say goodbye to your parents, when you know you have to go. It was like going through that all over again with this woman that I had just met. Oh, but she was so nice, she helped me a lot. So we got to that. Oh, I don't know at which airport. Maybe it was at that one. I could be wrong, but maybe Washington again or Chicago. I have no idea. The thing is that I had some beans in my suitcase because I am Mexican and I have beans in my suitcase. But they were the kind that come in a pouch. I think that's what you call it. So they didn't have liquid and they weren't solid. They were like a gel. Yeah. I think I had one or two. And well, that was my second airport that I went through. And this guard is like, oh, I need to check that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, go through it. Go ahead. And then she finds my beans. She finds my beans. And she tells me that I cannot go through with them. That I have to get rid of them. And I tell her, but why? They are not liquid. They are beans. They are beans. Beans. And she says, yeah, but they're liquid. And I said, no, they're not. They're beans. Woman, they're beans. This is my second airport. They didn't say anything before. Why do you want my beans? And she keeps complaining about them. I get stressed. And I say, whatever, just take them. Just take my beans. Woman, take them. They're yours now. Did she throw them to the trash? Did she keep them? I have no idea, but she took my beans. I have not forgiven you. I have not forgiven you for taking my beans. Because I remember being whatever I was and not having my beans. Maybe this didn't happen on the same trip. Maybe this happened. I think this happened on my way to Italy, but it's the same feeling. Someone took my beans, and that's unacceptable. Because I remember having dinner and thinking, this would be so good with some beans, but I didn't have them because guess what? Guess what? Guess who had my beans? Yeah, this woman had my beans. Anyway, life goes on. I was so mad. I don't know why, but I was so mad. I just hate it when you go to an airport and everything's fine and then you get to another one and they have different rules. Okay. Moving on. So I lost my beans. I said goodbye to this woman. And I don't remember anything else worth mentioning on that trip. I got to Valencia, and there I had to go to this this little town that I didn't really know how to get to. So I took it wasn't an Uber, what was it called? Cabify or something like that. It was like an hour and a half from Valencia airport to Oliva, which is where I was staying and working at. That's how I got there. The driver was really nice. We had a nice chat. Him asking me what I was going there and what did I just say? What I was doing there. And then I said, oh, I'm working here now. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He was really nice. And then I started doing my internship, and that was good. And there is where I took advantage of being in Spain and flights being relatively cheap and short, and travel around a little bit. First I started with just taking the bus to different cities around, whatever was close by. I went there. I would find somewhere to stay and I would sleep there and just walk around, and I learned some stuff about traveling. And then I started realizing, well, if I'm already traveling and spending my weekends there, I might as well plan it better and save money and just take a plane and go somewhere else. So the first trip that I took, that I actually had a plan for, was going to Madrid. How did I get there? Did I take the bus? No. I took a bus. Yeah. I took a bus. I got there. Oh, it was a long bus. Not a long bus, but I mean a long bus ride. It was a normal bus. I think it took like 6 hours to get there. I met with a friend there and some of her friends. It was really fun. We had a great time. I think it was 3 days or so. Yeah, it was fun. And then I get back another 6 hours. And after Madrid, that was August, and then September. Somehow I ended up going somewhere almost each month. Now, traveling a lot doesn't mean that it is, how do I say this? It can be cheap if you know how to do it. If you learn from your mistakes. Which I did. That's how I could afford it. And next one, that was August. Then September I went to Barcelona. But instead of taking the bus, I took a train. I think that took 3 hours. That's an improvement from 6. But it was also annoying because I had to go to Valencia. Okay, so it was an entire trip because I was in Oliva. So, Oliva? And I wasn't even in Oliva. I was like 10 kilometers away from Oliva. There were no taxis. There were no buses. There was nothing. You had to call a cab to pick you up from in the middle of nowhere. You could either go to Oliva, like the real Oliva, or going to, what was his name? Gandia. But if you go to Oliva, you have to take a bus to Gandia. If you go directly to Gandia, you can now take the train and go to Valencia. So I think I took it. I honestly don't remember. Anyway, you're in Gandia, you take the train, you go to Valencia. Once you're in Valencia, I had to take the train. So I'm at the train station in Valencia. I remember taking a bus at the train station to go to the other train station to take my real train to Barcelona, which took 3 hours. But did you realize all the things I had to do to get to the train station? Like go through all of these other things? Well, that took a lot of time. So from in the middle of nowhere to, let's say, Gandia, it could take 20 minutes. Unless you took the bus from Oliva, then it took longer. But let's say 20 minutes, 20-25. Then you're in Gandia, you go to Valencia. It's another hour. And then whatever amount of time it took me to take the bus and go to the other train station, plus the 3 hours. So it was a lot. But I did it because I wanted to travel. So to Barcelona I went on my own. It was really fun. I don't know why one of the nights that I spent there, they had fireworks. I got lucky and I was just walking by the beach, and out of nowhere all of these fireworks start making noise. Help me. And maybe a lot of people didn't know that it was going to happen, because everyone who was there got up and went crazy trying to get closer. How do you get closer to fireworks? They look the same whatever you are most of the times. And they lasted a long time, like at least 7 minutes of just contamination, pollution, and scared dogs. Well, I went back home. Oh, I met some people. I took a tour in Barcelona around the city, and I met some people. That was really fun. At the end of the tour, we went and had lunch together. That was fun. That was really nice. Meeting other people traveling on their own. And then I went back home. I did the same things I just described before. So that was September. Then October, I think I spent like a month and a half or so planning this one. Oops, kicked something. I wanted to go to Amsterdam for my birthday. And this one took me a long time to plan, because I wanted specific dates. And I also had to talk to my boss and ask if I could take those days off, because I didn't want to go all the way all the way there. It's like an hour flight. I didn't want to go there and only be able to stay one night, like a weekend. So I had to work some extra days in order to have off days and be able to put them together. You know what I mean? So I talked to my boss and she's like, yeah, you can go, it's fine. So I'm saying, okay, cool. I get my plane tickets. I found a hostel, which is, because it's still there, they don't move, right in the middle of the city. Great location, I think, in my opinion. Really good location. Kinda, I mean, depends on how you look at it. But I liked it. And anyway, it was time to go. So my plane flight thing, I think it was supposed to be at 5 something a.m. So if I wanted to get there on time, I had to leave the night before, because I wasn't going to find there were no early trains in the subway to go to the airport. They were until after 6, I think. So I had to go the night before. So I did all of those things that I said before, but instead of taking one bus from one train station to the other train station, I only took the subway. I really like that you could be at the train station, take the subway, which was right in front of it, and there's a station called airport. So it's really cool. And I spent the night there. But unlike Rome, I wasn't, with my pain on my neck. I don't think I slept, actually. If I did, it was more like a nap. But the airport was empty pretty much, so I mean, it was safe. It felt safe, at least. Then around 3 or 4, they allow us to go to the gates. We get there, we take the plane, we get on the plane, we arrive to Amsterdam, and I have never been in such a confusing airport before. I got there around 7. Sorry for that noise. I got there around 7 something in the morning. I didn't get out of the airport until around 8-ish something. I was lost. At one point, I am a genius. Apparently I wasn't recording. My camera was just on standby. No, I don't know. Was it recording? It was recording. Yeah, I only have 37 minutes left. You were recording, right? And 10% left for battery. Okay, this is ending soon. At least the video. Because I'm not done yet. Where was I? Oh, the confusing airport. Yeah, it took me a long time to get out of there. At some point, I did ask someone, like, where's the exit? They told me where it was, or at least what signs to follow. I did follow them, but I got nowhere. I ended up back on the same place. I remember getting out of the plane and seeing this guy. And I saw him again. I thought, okay, yeah. And at some point I saw him, and I thought, okay, you look like you've been here before. I'll just follow you and find myself out. Right? Find my way out of here. Nope, we both got lost. He didn't know where to go. So I wasn't alone. So I just kept walking, and eventually I made it to a door and I was free. But I had to take I don't know if it was a train or a subway, actually, I don't know. But I had to take something to go to the central station, because there's where my hostel was. Eventually I figured it out. Oh, also, I found the exit of the airport, but I didn't find the entrance of the train thing. I was checking maps on my phone, and it said that I was already there, but I didn't see it. Turns out it's downstairs. Like, you have to... It was on the floor below us. So... Oh my god. They need better signs there. It took me such a long time to get out of there. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I finally find my exit, like my way out of there. Then I finally find the entrance for the train thing. I take it, I arrive, and then I walk to my hostel. It was obviously too early. It wasn't even 9 a.m. yet. But they did take care of my suitcase. That was nice of them. And I just kept walking around. and I took advantage of it and visited some places. And one thing that is different between these trips and the trips that I took before, like right when I got there to Spain, is that I even printed a map of the city. This happened for Madrid, Barcelona, Amsterdam. I printed a map of the city and I will circle where to go, what was there, and I will just plan my days because I didn't want to waste my time. I learned that from trips before. If you're already going somewhere, you might as well plan your days and know what to do. One thing that I do regret not doing while being in Amsterdam is not going to the Van Gogh Museum. I'd like to go there. Maybe when it is easier to travel, I can just go. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I really like to do that. I don't know why I didn't go. It was on my map. I remember marking it and knowing where it is. Or, yeah. But going, I don't remember ever thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to this museum. For some reason, I don't know why, but now I want to go. I'd like to go. Hopefully that's possible. Well, my camera is dead. Okay. Anyway, fun trip. Then my way back, it was easier because I already knew a little bit better how to get around on that airport. So that was October. Then November, I didn't go anywhere because I was planning on going. I was planning my trips for December. I made plans with some friends to meet there. Well, wait, what? About what? Oh, December, okay. So, at the beginning of December, I planned a trip. And then at the end of December, for Christmas, I also planned a trip. That's why I didn't go anywhere for November. Would have been too much. So, I'm checking the video, seeing if it worked. It didn't work, did it? I don't know. Have I been messing it up all this time? Okay, so December. The first one, I was planning on going to London, and then for Christmas I wanted to go to Dublin. Okay, so a lot of planning again. I was meeting with some friends in London. Well, by that time, I already knew how to get to the airport. I already knew that I had to wake up early and all of that. So that was easier. It gets easier as you just go. What else? Well, once getting there to London, I don't remember what airport it was. For some reason, they have like 4 for one city. Seems silly, but okay, you do you. And then it was about getting from the airport to the place we were staying at. And then I didn't know how early the night starts, or how early the sun leaves, or how early the day ends. However you want to look at it. I think it was 4 p.m. and the sun, it felt like 9 p.m. by 4:30. It was a bit depressing, I'm not going to lie. Because you get there, like, you plan, the flights and all of that, and you think, okay, we'll get there early, you have more time to just to know the city, right? But you don't think that by 4:30 it's already going to be pitch black outside. Anyway, you live, you learn. the trip was fine. I have never felt so much cold in my entire life until I was there, and I just wow. I mean, it was windy, it was cold. Luckily, it wasn't raining, so that's really nice. It's supposed to be raining a lot there. Well, that's one thing. In all my trips, it never rained. It was always nice weather. I mean, as nice as it can be, right? But I never had to worry about rain or storms or bad weather or anything like that. Only the cold in this one. But the cold felt like it was slapping you everywhere with just cold. It was painful. Anyway, other than the cold, it was nice. But I think that if the sun sets earlier, you have to think about waking up earlier too, if you do want to take advantage of you being there. Otherwise, you just I mean, you're losing your time. You're just, yeah, because it's different experiencing a new place when it's dark and when there's sunlight. Especially if you've never been there before, because it's easier to get lost. And oh well, while I was there, some of the people that I met, like before on other trips, was also there. He was like, "Hey, I'm also here. Let's meet." I'm like, "Yeah, cool." That was really fun. What a coincidence. And then, well, that ended. It was only like 3 days, but it was really nice. And then at the end of December, okay, Dublin. That was a lot. Dublin was a lot. It started with the left, but it was painful. Okay, firstly, when I got to the airport, everything was going fine. But then when I'm on the line to get on the plane, I realized that I'm missing one of my bracelets. And it's a gold bracelet. My mom gave it to me. And I remember taking it off, then putting it on my pocket, then taking it out of my pocket, and at least having the intention of putting it back on. But I remember taking the bracelet out of my pocket. So I thought, well, I lost it. It's not here in my pocket, it's not on my wrist, it's somewhere. But I was already on the line, and the plane was delayed, so we were already running late for like an hour. I didn't realize I had lost my bracelet until then, and I asked one of the ladies there, a woman, "Hey, I lost my bracelet. Is it okay if I just like go ask whatever office you have here of lost and found or something like that?" and see if they have something or whatever. And she says, if you get on the plane, you cannot get out. Because I think I asked her if I could just leave my stuff and then quickly go and ask while everyone else is boarding. She's like, nope, you cannot. Either you go and you lose your spot on the line, or yep. So I didn't go. I mean, I had already lost it. Who would find a gold bracelet and leave it at lost and found? So whoever found it, I hope you are enjoying it. You are welcome. Yes, it was cold, so I hope you enjoy it. I just didn't want it to end up on the trash can. I'd rather have someone find it and enjoy it than someone just cleaning the floors and this thing being lost forever. So I just lie to myself and pretend someone found it and likes it. So I lost my bracelet. The flight got delayed. The lady that didn't let me go ask for my bracelet. And then again, I had planned my trip to Dublin. The first thing that I wanted to do was, I think it's called the Leprechaun Museum. And back then, I don't know if it is a thing they do every year, but at least back then they had these, I don't even know what to call them. It was supposed to be like scary stories or something like that at night. And they had another kind of activities at day. But I was getting there at night and I thought, well, I could do something fun when I get there. So I thought it was a good idea getting tickets for this and doing that, but because the plane got delayed, I didn't make it. I didn't make it on time. I could have if I didn't go to my Airbnb and leave my suitcases before, but I didn't want to go to the museum with my suitcases, obviously. So instead I go to my Airbnb. And also when I got there, something else happened, because it was an apartment with 2 rooms, 2 or 3 rooms, I'm not sure. And I remember seeing one room that was posted by this woman, and then I saw that she had another room, and this other room included a bathroom. So I obviously, and the price was pretty much the same, so I thought, well, I might as well pay for the one that has a private bathroom. So I get there and I see that the room looks different. The room doesn't have a private bathroom. So I send a photo to the owner through the Airbnb app. And she replies instantly, "No, that's not your room." And then she calls me and starts apologizing, saying, "Oh, the person that got there before you took your room by mistake. But don't worry, tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll go there and I'll swap everything, I'll clean everything, and you don't have to worry about it." And I thought, okay, yeah, I mean, it's fine if it is just one night that I have to deal with this. But I mean, on top of everything else, it felt awful. The bracelet, the delayed thing, me not being able to make it to the museum, and then me not getting the room that I had already paid for. It didn't start good. It didn't start like a good trip. And after a while, I still went outside, and I thought, well, after all of this, I at least deserve a good dinner, right? So I found a place where to go. And while being there, I kept thinking, maybe I should call her and And you know, because there is a difference on the price and whatever, maybe I should say something like, hey, it's not like my fault that someone made a mistake or whatever. I was just mad. I think that dinner did calm me down. I did spend like, I don't know, an hour and a half there. It was nice. It's weird going to a restaurant where everyone is with someone and then there's you. It's kind of peaceful. Can you hear the brush? I haven't been to deep a lot of it, not yet. But yeah. What else? I think that was the, well, no, the bad things kept happening in this trip because I saw as I said, this one was for Christmas. I think this happened on the 23rd, and then the 24th, the next day. I planned to go around some places and see some stuff around the city. So I did that. And then the next day, wait, I don't remember if this was, whatever, the next day everything was closed. I didn't know that literally everything is closed. So I wake up on the 25th, Christmas, and I remember looking through the window and you couldn't see anything. It wasn't raining, but the fog was there, like it was really there. And that day I wanted to, they have a, what is this thing called? I don't know what it's called. I forgot. It's this huge thing that has a lamp on top of it, that it's right next to the water, that you have to walk a lot to get to it. It's like a tower with a big light bulb on top. You know what I mean. I wanted to walk there. It's a long distance, but I thought maybe I could take the bus and get closer and then walk. But it was Christmas and not even the buses work. Well, the bus drivers, because the buses always work. So that didn't happen. I tried walking some of the distance, but then I really needed a toilet. I needed to pee. And I decided, nope, I'm going back. So I started walking back. And I remember thinking maybe I can find a coffee shop or something like that. Get a coffee and use the restroom. Use their toilet. But it was Christmas and everything was closed, and this happened really early. I wake up early, so this maybe 8 something, 9 a.m. or so. So everything was still closed. And I really needed to pee. And I didn't know what to do. I just kept walking, and hopefully I could find a coffee shop or a little store open or whatever. But no one had a restroom. There was no restrooms on site. I did see some places that had signs on the door saying, "Oh, we're closed, but we'll be back on the 27th." My plane back was on the 27th in the morning, so I thought, well, that's fun. Sounds like I'm not doing anything. Wait, no, on the 26th. Yeah, whatever. The thing is that I wasn't going to be there for when they open again. So it would have been nice to know before I went there that literally everything closes. Literally everything is closed. Maybe around noon a few places opened, like little restaurants and coffee shops and all of those. But I had already peed. I didn't need you anymore. But either way, it was a really nice trip. I got to see a lot of things and I had fun, even though all of those things happened. You know, you get fun trips and then you get not so fun trips, but it's fine. I don't regret it. I don't know if it is because Dublin is a really touristic city, but I thought I would have some troubles with the accent. I didn't. It was fine. I do think that it's because they know a lot of tourists go there, so they just know how to make themselves understood. Anyway, so that was Christmas. What did I do after that? For New Year's, I didn't go anywhere. I stayed with a friend. And then I was done with my internship. I still had like 2 or 3 weeks, I think 2 weeks left after New Year's. But my contract, but with my school, I had already completed the hours that I needed to do there. So I talked to my boss and said that I wanted to quit. If you can, yeah, I guess quit. And I did all of the things that I have to do. I talked to the people that I had to talk to, and everything was fine. And I did this because I wanted to spend my last week traveling. So, packing before leaving was painful. It was so much packing. It took me like a week. And it was just so tiring. I didn't know what to do. I had so many things. Somehow I ended up with so many things. It was a lot. Anyway, the last week I wanted to travel, as I said, and that time I went to Bristol, England again, and I spent there a week. And again, good weather, was really fun. One thing that I didn't know about the city that I wish I had known before going there, they have so many hills, like so many hills. I don't mean high heels, like heels. Like if you walk on the street, your legs will hurt a lot if you walk places, because you go up and then you go down. And then you think, oh, this street is straight. No, it isn't. You're going up or you're going down. Always. Always. So I remember every day that I spent there going to bed, and my legs would always hurt. It was a lot. But I don't regret it. It's a really nice place. It's a small city, but it's nice. It feels like the people living there really like supporting the people that live there. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, small businesses are really liked, I guess you could say. At least that's the impression that I had. And something that happened there when I got there. I tried, again, I didn't know that there were so many hills. Yeah, and I thought maybe I could walk, take advantage of it and walk to the Airbnb that I was staying at. It didn't seem that far away. But, well, I was walking with everything that I had with me, with 2 suitcases, with my backpack. It was getting late, it was getting dark. And at some point, I just gave up and I thought, nope, I'm calling an Uber. So I stopped, I called an Uber, and big brain me forgot that the guy would pick me up. Well, I couldn't, maybe I could have known. This guy was on the other side of the street. So I'm waiting on one side, and then I get a call. I pick up. It's the driver. He's like, "Hey, where are you? I'm here. I'm waiting." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here too." I say the corner that I'm at, and he's like, "Oh, you need to cross the street." And I go, "Okay, I'll cross the street." So I do that. It was a sketchy car. It was one of those vans that could steal kids, that give ice cream for free. Anyway, I got on it. Guy was nice. We got there and we got to the house, and he's like, "Is he here?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." You think I would know? Like, if I look like I come here often, I didn't know which side of the street to wait for you. So I'm like, I don't know if it is here. We were supposed to find a 7. I remember the house being a 7 or something like that. And we couldn't find the number. But the street and the map matched the address. So there was someone parked outside of the house that we thought we were supposed to go. And the driver gets out of the car and asks this guy, "Hey, is this house number whatever?" And he's like, yeah, it's here. And he's like, "Okay, cool." So he helps me with my suitcases, and then the guy sees me and he's like, "Oh, you're staying with, I don't remember her name, but he said the name of the lady." He's like, yeah, I'm staying here. He's like, "Oh, she's the tutor for my kids. She was a science and math tutor or something." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I'm staying here." And he was like living good luck that the kids had their lesson at that time. And I got there, and she sees me and she's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Hi." And she offered to help me with my suitcases. This old lady, no offense, but she was old, and I'm like, nope, these suitcases are half my weight. I don't want you. Yeah, you're fine. No, don't do it. You don't have to. Plus, she had the kids right there with her, so I'm like, no, I'll do it. And she's like, "Oh, but just be careful with the walls because I have just painted them." She did tell me that on her text before I got there. I'm like, yeah, I'll be careful. So I did almost die with the tiny stairs that English people like, carrying a huge suitcase, but I made it. I made it twice because I have 2 suitcases. And that room was pretty cool. It was huge. That room, it was pretty cool. The only thing that I didn't like about the room was that you could not lock the door. We didn't have a key. If you were inside, you could lock the door, but if you left, you couldn't. You had to trust this lady that she will take care of your stuff. Which I did, obviously. And the same thing when I left, I called another Uber, but I was still at the house. So this guy gets there, and he starts complaining. He said something about, "Oh, I didn't know you had 2 big suitcases." And I'm like, yeah, I did. Yeah. So what? it's one person, 2 big suitcases. And he's like, oh, but that counts as more people because of the suitcases and blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's only one person, it's me. Plus he had a huge car, so there was no excuse with the big suitcases. He was just trying to get some extra cash. And I'm like, nope, if you want I can cancel and call someone else, but nope, it's only one person. And he's like, no, I'll do it, it's fine. Suddenly he didn't care about the big suitcases. Anyway, he picks them up and he got mad for a while. He was being rude. And I'm like, you know what, I'll just cancel, whatever. He's like, no. And he tries to redeem himself by making small talk on the way to the train or the bus, whatever I was going to take station. And he starts making like small talk and trying to be funny. I'm like, I haven't forgotten about you being rude to me, but yeah, sure, let's pretend. Ha 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 ha. And we get to I had to take a bus from Bristol to London because my plane was from London to Mexico, I think. So I had to take the bus, so we were going there, and I think he waited until we got there. Sorry, to mention something about, oh, maybe you could leave a tip because of the whatever. Yeah, leave a tip. What a jerk. You know what? Then I thought, whatever. Just yeah, sure. Here's your tip on the app. I didn't have any cash with me. I never had any cash with me. I remember when I was in Bristol, I wanted to go. Well, the owner, told me that maybe I could go visit Bath, which I did. And I don't know why I needed cash for something. And I didn't want to go to an ATM because if you withdraw money with a different bank account from another country, blah blah blah, they charge you for that, and it's really silly. For the amount of money I needed, it wasn't worth it. So I went to a store. I bought I think it was a badge for one of my jackets, and I told the lady, hey, why if you charge me like an extra $5, or I don't know how much I needed, and you give me the cash, like you charge me but you give me the cash. And he's like, yeah, fine, I'll do that, yeah, no problem. I'm like, cool. She didn't complain about anything. Maybe others do that too. So she was my ATM for about £5, I think I needed. Maybe it was for the train ride back to Bristol, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, either that time and the time before when I went to London, I never had cash with me. I think if you go to a big city, you don't really need to have cash with you. So this guy asked for the tip, and I'm like, whatever. I didn't even tip him that much. I think it was only like £2, which he did not deserve. But I thought, I'm not gonna be any richer or any poorer if I give you these £2 extra. So I hope you enjoy them, rude guy. I hope you enjoy your extra £2 for being rude. There you go. If you are rude to me, I will not give you £2. Because you are not an Uber driver, unless you are. Then I went home. And I think that one was the longest trip, like the longest plane trip that I've ever been in. London to Mexico City. I think that one was like almost 12 hours. But then you get to Mexico City and you go back 6 hours. So it's as if the plane had only taken 6 hours, but it didn't because it was 12. It's weird. Going back to that side of the world, it's weird because you get time back on the clock, but your body knows that it's not real. So maybe I'm older. maybe I'm older now, or maybe I'm younger because I've been going back and forth. So who knows? How old am I? How old are you? What did I just say? So that was my last trip on my own. I went back in 2019. I'm sorry. And then on my own, I didn't travel again until like 6 weeks ago when I came here. Well, this time was annoying because of COVID. I think it's just stressful having to always think about clean your hands and think about what you just touched. Oh, you're touching your phone? Well, wash your hands again because you have not cleaned your phone. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about how easy it was to travel back then. It's almost been 2 hours. This one I will edit. There's a lot of things that I have to edit out. In the video, oh, it's so sad that I couldn't continue. I hope, yeah, it's literally 0% battery, but it still records for a few seconds. So this is what it looks like where I'm stopping. Just some gradient green to blue to white, the flower, and then blue again. So I'm saying goodbye now. I'm saying goodbye. There's my face mask, hanging from there. Bye, camera. I hope you recorded before. If not, it just died. Okay. Well, I forgot what I was just saying before. Traveling is hard. Oh, I had to take a PCR, I think it's called PCR test. I thought it was going to be worse than what it was. It's uncomfortable because there's something in your nose. It's really personal, like in your personal bubble. Get out of my nose. It's really weird. It's weird. But it's fast, so it's not so bad. If you have to take one, just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. It's not that bad. Uncomfortable, but not painful. You do feel like sneezing, but don't sneeze because they're going to have to do it again. I think, maybe, I don't know. So, yeah. Apparently a lot of people are traveling, going back home for the holidays, but I'm not. I did think about maybe going somewhere, but then you have to do all the things with some countries do ask you to quarantine. Just to stay away from a few days. I don't know how they make sure that you actually do that. Do they check up on you? Do they call you? Do they wait outside of your door? Do they lock your door? I don't know. I don't want to find out. But I don't want to take another test just to go somewhere for 3 or 4 days and then come back. I'd rather wait. Maybe next year. The semester is supposed to start on March. Hopefully before that I get to go somewhere. Even if it is inside of Austria. That would be fun. Just going somewhere. I like traveling. If you couldn't tell. I just spent 2 hours talking about that. And yeah, I was just thinking about how easy it was. And we never thought about it getting complicated. I mean, this kind of complicated. I hope it gets better soon. maybe next year will be the year to travel. Who knows? Who knows? Some people are starting to get vaccines this year. When are you getting yours? Well, I don't know. Last week I think I ended with just the raincoat for legs. Thank you for the suggestions, by the way. The cat tried to get in again, if you were wondering. No, the cat is never getting in. What else has happened? I drove my bike this week with snow for the first time. I almost fell one time, but I was ready for it, so I didn't actually fall. I was slowing down and the bike like, but I didn't fall. That was almost fun. And, well, I don't know. How have your trips been? Let me know if you have any interesting stories that you'd like to share. You can just send a message and that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. And remember to wash your hands and to wear your mask if you go outside. And it's time. It is time. So say it with me. Are you ready? I'm ready. Ta-ta!